Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. For our YouTube viewers, this one is going to be out as the weekly outlook. My apologies for not bringing out one last week, but I was on vacation. I was traveling. I am still out of Dubai for a while. I'll do this one. It's a very short one. And if you like it, please leave a comment. Click a like, leave a comment. So let's start. Dollar index. Dollar index is going down. Nothing new here. I mean, since before I left, it was coming down. So we're still in the stage where we haven't got a clear pattern on any higher time frame because we haven't broken this low and we haven't broken that top, right? So until one of those are broken, we're still kind of consolidating. So we thought this would come, but then it started to go up. We got a breakout. I'll take this off. We did get a breakout. And then the next question you would ask when you get a breakout is whether it's going to go break the top, right? So let me take this off. Whether it's why it's not coming off. Okay, good. This is going to go up, break the top. It didn't break the top here either. If you pull a line here, we didn't break this top. So now we're making a much, much more complex pattern. Now we're making a much complex because we didn't break that top, which means we're inside, we're consolidating in this move. All the consolidation is happening in this move here now, right? It has made a move up and it's coming back here. So if we could either retest the low or we could go back and break the top. Either of those are possible, depending, because we only have two impulses so far, right? I think this will be part of the bigger correction. So we'll see how that turns out. For trading purposes, that has nothing to do with anything. That's just the analysis to understand where you think the market is likely going to go. And then we'll go into the trading zone, what we think is going to happen here. Now, we've got a very sharp move down here, right? And this one is coming down, not as sharp as that, but it's coming down here. So there is a possibility that you could either get this going back up to the top like that, making a running flat here. That's one option. Second option is we just come down here and then we'll figure out where to put that. I don't see anything to put that with, but that will come in later on. Now, if it comes back and break this low, we're going to move this trend line to this, and then we still will be going up. I still think it will be upside because all this will become is a bigger correction for upside. If this starts going up, then we're likely just going to go break the top and then turn. So on the 15 minutes for the trade of the day, I think it's a sell setup. Short term, I will go with a sell setup. We had a running flat here, right? You've got a 1, 2, 3. You're getting a flat here. So this is a sell setup, but the problem with this is that it might not go very far because you're having a flat inside of that structure. That normally doesn't go very far. And I think we do have a lot of divergence here forming. So divergence is just telling us that there's some kind of a weakness in the momentum that's happening. Now, there is a chance that it does break this low. The trade is still a valid trade. The only question you would have is how do you manage that trade if it doesn't go very far? Now, is there a chance that this can go up? I think that's rare. This is the low. We haven't broken the low. If it's going to go up, it will need to break the low and then go up. So if you get a trade in here, you'd have to, let's say you take this trade, you'd have to make sure that when you break this low, you start manage the trade. Should it not go, right? Should it not go, then, you'll have to be careful. But there is a chance that it could just break this low and turn. And that is where trade management will come through. You're not at the top of, you're not up from the top here coming down, but you're in the middle of the bigger move, that previous bigger move. So both ways possible. Silver, upside. I think this one is clear. You go for the buy. We broke out of this structure. We had that consolidation, did that 4-hour consolidation. We broke out and it's likely going to break this top. So with a consolidation there, the only thing you'll go for is a buy. Right, there is a buy setup here. Depending on how you trade, you can decide if you want to get it earlier, which is there is a flag here this morning. We were waiting for a flag. You kind of get a small flag here. You want to be above the flag. Don't try to. I think if you're going to buy here, the idea is you would have. Let's say you thought this was a flag and you bought here, it dropped. So that would have been a loss that is unnecessary. If you wait for the breakout, if you were waiting for a breakout here for this to go, you probably wouldn't be in that trade. So the same thing can apply here. You can put an entry here and wait to see when it comes in. Now, if it makes a sharp spike like this and start coming down, you can get it for break even. The trade you're looking for is if it breaks out. So silver would be a buy setup. We can actually put that, look for a buy setup. You actually have a buy setup. It could be an active buy. This could be an active buy. Put an entry order somewhere here and go for that buy to break out. If for whatever reason it's making another flag here for downside, the likelihood is it's going to come lower into this, take off the trade. If it's going up, it will go like that. If they kind of come here, tag you and start to do this, just take off the trade. You want it to tag you and go, right? Because this is the consolidation. You're not looking for more consolidation. You're looking for an impulse to the upside. Gold came down a little more from this morning. The same thing. As of now, this is a buy setup. You can put an entry above the top here for the buy. Now, can you sell gold if we think this is the top coming down? Let's see in the 4 hours if that is a point from where, yeah, you can actually see gold going down. Remember gold, when we broke the stop here, we assume it's going to drop. So I could see this happening. There's that possibility for that to happen. Now you'd have to have a flag to sell. So come back to the top here. Let's say they're both going down. The best one would be to sell gold, right? Sell the gold if you think they're both going down. There wasn't much of a flag here this morning. It kind of did pull back, but not much of a flag. If you get a flag here, this would be a sell. So two options now. It either go through here, making this the consolidation, or you get another flag here, and you can sell that. Now, you would sell it assuming that it's going to make one more drop. So you'd have to sell it. So when it makes that drop, by the time it gets here, you can get that to break even. Right? That's the whole point of selling it here. Now, if it makes a really nice flag here, I think we'll go for the sell. Because potentially gold can go down more. It doesn't mean it can't make one more spike up, but potentially the downside is more likely. So we'll put this open to both sides, wait for whichever is right. Euro is going to make one more up. This is a huge flat. This is likely going to go one more up. We were expecting that this morning. Now, the upside is not, I don't think the upside is a big move, because even if we break this top, you end up with this. You end up with a 1, 2, 3 if you break that top. So it still would be downside. There isn't a big move to the upside that is, going to go. I think if we get a buy setup, we'll rather buy. We looked at it in the Asian session this morning. If we get a buy setup, it'd be better to buy the Aussie and the New Zealand rather than Euro. Although Euro might have a buy setup here, I'll prefer buying the Aussie and New Zealand because there's a bigger trade to the upside on the Aussie and the New Zealand, confirmed by the patterns we have. The Euro pattern is not confirming upside. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually dropped. We don't have a sell setup. Before it dropped, we'll likely break the top. So I would like to see this break the top, reverse, give us a flag, and then that sell becomes amazing. Right? If this happens. Now, how high would it go? Well, we'll see. I probably would not buy Euro. We look mostly for the buy in the silver and for Aussie and New Zealand and see how those go. Although there is a buy setup. This one dropped. If this is going to become a buy setup, this would be a small expanding flat. This morning, we sold it here. If you're still in the trade, you can put it to break even because it's not going as fast. The idea was that this would drop and it's going really slow. So you can decide to put it to break even and wait to see where it goes. If this is making some kind of an expanding, we broke the top. So if it's making a small expanding flat here for upside, you could put an entry to buy here. I don't think that's going to happen, but you can put an entry to buy there. And that would be a buy setup. Not the best buy setup too. Aussie would be a better buy setup. We expect it to come down some more. I think we can see a move down like this. And when it gets here, you can put an entry on it to buy here or wait for an up move and a flag. Right? Those are the two options. Now, what if it comes here and consolidate? If it comes here and consolidate, you'll get a bigger consolidation on Pong. You'll get a bigger consolidation in Euro. I think the Pong would be a better sell. But then we can sell this. If we get a consolidation here under this last impulse, right, somewhere here, that would be a sell setup. Because remember, this is a top. How far it's going to go, in the big picture, I don't think it's going to go very far. Because we need to finish this move, break that top, right? Remember, once it started to go up, we decide that. Can it come up? Okay, what is this now? Can it come deep enough? Can it come deep enough to go? I think there's this open one we have here. So if it makes a flag here, we'll assume it's going to do this and then go back up. We'll put this as a running flat. So this is the only thing I see possible happening. If you get a flag there, we'll sell it. One more drop, then upside. But wait for a flag. If you're going to sell this, you want to wait for that 1 hour flag. As it stands right now, you can put a buy on it. You can put a buy here now. Now, if it comes deeper and start to go up, if it comes deeper like this and then start going up, look for a flag here to buy. Right? Because you have an advantage that way. New Zealand, buy setup. Same thing. I expected to pull back this much and then upside. New Zealand also structurally is upside. And the 4 hour, see? The bigger picture, structurally, we were expecting this to go break the top. So I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. This is a deeper pullback. This is the move up, ready for the upside. So if we get the buy setup, we go with the buy setup here. If you bought this, let's say you were buying this, you would buy it somewhere in here and then go for the upside. I don't see anybody buying that. If you bet that was a news event, probably it's very quick. So we can look at this as a small running flat for upside, which would be a buy setup. CAD. Okay. Probably don't take the trade here, take it above the top. Let them prove they can break out because we never broke that low. The idea was that this morning when we were in the room, that this would come here, break the low, and then go back up. Right? Now, this buy could be short term, but it's still worth taking. And the reason it's short term is because we are expecting it to break this low. The bigger picture is upside. See, this bigger picture is upside, but we need to break this low here before we go. So even if this goes up here, you can get a move there and then downside. I don't think this is the one that breaks up, but we can take the trade and see how far it goes. Worst case is you can manage your way out of that trade. So buy setup, I'll put it above the top until they break the low. I want this to come and break this low. If it drops here, break the low, and then go, that's a good trade. If it's going from here, we'll assume that that's some kind of a contracting flat. Because I didn't think we break the low. You can check on your charts. If the low is broken, you can bring the trade down back. But from there, that's a good buy. Swiss. Now the question is whether, whether silver will go up if they have CAD goes up. They move separately, individually, but sometimes both of them move in the same direction. Maybe one move first, the others move later. So we'll see. Remember, the CAD upside is not necessarily a big move. This I'm expecting to go down more. Right? Come back, retest this low. Right now, I think we have the possibility for that to happen. You need this to go back first. It actually came down to the bottom, which is a good sign. It needed to go back up, get a flat, look for a sell. If it was at the bottom of the structure, this would have been a good buy. But it's not at the bottom of the structure, so the buy here is not a good idea. Look for a sell setup. Yen. Okay, I didn't think anybody get the buy. We were looking for the buy here. There was supposed to be a flag. This one is way too small. I don't know if anybody took it in the 5 minutes. We broke the low, and you look for a buy. If you're not in the buy, just wait for it to make a flag. You have a 1, 2, 3. Wait for a flag here, and then take this straight up. Right? The flag here was a 5-minute flag if you took it. If not, just wait for another 50 minutes flag and then take the trade. So you can look for a buy setup here. Okay, all the other pairs, the crosses and so we will do in the trading room later. For YouTube purpose, we'll just do the majors here and we'll do some cryptos and some of the stocks. So let's look at some of the stocks. Natural gas, stocks and indices. Natural gas, it's dropping. Come on. I've looked at this since I left Dubai. It's coming in. We're expecting a running flat here, but it seems like it's dropping much more. I wouldn't go with expanding flat. I'll assume they're retesting the low. Well, both of those are possible. One is retesting the low, the other one is an expanding flat. So you could look at this as a possible expanding flat or retesting the low. Go back to the 1 hour and then we'll decide which trade we get. Right? So take this off. It did come much lower. It came much lower than we expected. So the question is whether we can look at that as an expanding flat. That's possible. If it's an expanding flat, you want an impulse and a flag. So you want an impulse and you want a flag here. If it's dropping, you need a flat to sell. We don't have either. We don't have a flag. We don't have a flat. US oil. Okay, this looks like a flat for upside. I think you have a very, very nice flat here for upside. This was a buy setup. You would have probably got another buy setup here. And let's see where this will take us. Okay, this line is off because we never broke the low. This one never broke the low. It can go back up one more. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually comes here now and break this top. Would we look at this as a 1, 2, 3? Come back here and then go? I think that's possible. Let's go to the daily, see what that would look like. Yeah, there's a possibility you can go there, break that top, come back here, go back there, and then drop. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like that. So coming to break this top here, this could be a trade. Let's go back to the 1 hour. You do have a small running flat here. Maybe expanding because it might break. This low might have been broken already. For the upside. Right? I would look at it that way. Now, here's the thing. What if it doesn't go back up? What if it's not if it's making a running flat, this is your trade, right? This is the entry, that's your trade. Unless you get a flag here to buy. If not, then wait for this to consolidate here. Any consolidation here without an impulse to the upside would be a sell. So as of now, you can actually put a buy entry and don't worry about it. Because that's a safe entry. It has to break the top to go. Right? And if it breaks the top, the likelihood is going to go up higher. If it starts consolidating here, you take this off and go for the sell. 1 second, guys. Let me just mute myself for a second. Sorry about that. I actually got a cold when I came into Moscow, so it's still there, probably for the next couple of days. Yeah, that's so let's see, US 30. Okay, this was the buy on that one. That was a long time back. We're actually in a big sideways here. Let's see what this looks like. It doesn't look upside. This definitely doesn't look upside. Right, so we were expecting either a running flat for upside, or if it's not a running flat for upside, then we're going to be in a big consolidation here because this is looking very much like a consolidation. There is a buy setup forming here. Actually, this smaller version of this piece is a buy setup, but I don't think that's a good buy. I would not buy it. I'll actually wait for them to break the top and then look for the sell. So I would say still look for a sell setup because this is the sharp move. That's a consolidation. Look for a drop. I'll spin this round. And at some point, you're starting to look for this drop. Even if it's a 1, 2, 3 for one more up, you go with that. Can we make a big consolidation here? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. This could, sorry. This, why it's not going away? Yeah. This could probably just go break the top, come back here, and then go there, come back here. You get a flat here. You get a flat there, and then you get a flat here, and then go. So I would say look for a sell setup here. There is no sell setup as yet, but look for a sell setup. Ignore the buy. At least for now, I don't see a big buy setup coming there. So that's your starter. Let's see. S&P 500, buy setup. It actually broke the top. This one actually came back deep, so I would probably go with this as a running flat. And that would have been a good buy. Actually could have buy it from much lower. Right? Once you got the running flat, you could either buy it from this one or this one. Or wait for another flag here. I think we had this breaking the top and then turn, right? That was the whole point. Why do we have that arrow break the top and turn? Okay, we have this one. I see. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised now. You can look for a sell setup, short term. If you get a sell setup here in the short term, like a down move and a correction, look for this trade. Running flat and then up. So you can look for both at the top there. There isn't the sell setup as yet, but you could be making an argument for a flag here. If you get a flag, they go for the sell. If it goes back, look for the buy. So if you're looking for a flag here, but it does this, wait for it to come back here and then buy. If it stays in this range, go for the sell. NASDAQ, buy setup. This is sharp, but you also have a sharp one here, which might be a contracting flat. So in this case, it will most likely be a buy setup because that could be a contracting flat. In the bigger picture, do we need to come back down? Well, we still have this sharp one here, but this isn't as sharp as the one on the S&P 500. See, this one has a lot of correction here, so it's not that sharp. Then go for the buy setup here. Okay, this one is still in the consolidation. So that means you'll expect one more down and then upside. Right, this could come back here and then upside. See? We're still consolidating. And that one will still mean downside. Yeah, this is still going to be downside. Actually, you could make an argument for 1, 2, 3. These two are sharp, right? For this one, and every flag here could be a sell. Look for a sell setup. Let me take out all of these. I look for a sell setup because I should have changed them. Next, sell setup. Here's the thing. This right now looks like a sell setup here, this piece. That looks like a sell setup. That's a sell. Now, should this go back to the top here and then come back here, we'll go with a buy setup. And we'll assume that this is going to take off. So if it becomes a flat only, then right now it's a sell setup. You can put an entry order for the sell and wait. If it goes back to the top here, you take it off because that is a flat, and that flat would mean upside, right? Now, bigger structure, if this is upside, you can see that very clearly. Let me take this off. The bigger structure is upside, but this one definitely looks like it can retest this low before they go. Right? See, there's a huge flat in here. And if this flag stays as a flag, then it can drop here and then go back up. But if it becomes a flat, that means this could break out. This would be all the consolidation. So either way, you're going to get a trade on this today. You just have to wait to see which side it goes. It becomes a flat or a flag. The flag is a sale right now. The flat will be a buy much later. I'm not sure what this was first, but I'll take it off. It has to be some kind of a break-even small trade. And we're in this consolidation. That's a sell setup. I think this one is easy, right? This was the top. That's a sell setup. You're actually the top of that sell setup, which is not a bad idea. Wait for a flag here. Put an entry here and go for this trade. Okay, Nifty, be careful with the buy here and Nifty. There was a buy setup, but be careful because we have this really sharp move here that we don't have anything to go with. And that means at any point here now, this can make a sudden drop. There isn't the sell setup. It's just at the top. Tesla. Okay, Tesla did not come back down. I think we started to see that happening early. We didn't get to change it, but this consolidation here was already not very good, especially since this didn't drop, right? This one needed to drop. And if it consolidate here, then you're thinking, well, maybe we're trying to go back up. So this would be the low. That means that this here would be all the consolidation, this piece. That would be the flat. This would be a 1, 2, 3, and we're going back up, right? Take this out. Assuming it was still upside, we just thought it would go lower first, but now it's going up. Come on, take this out. Okay, we can take this out. We don't need it here. So this is coming to break this stop, and you're still in the consolidation, right? In the bigger picture, you're still in the consolidation. Because this here, we need to break that top to make 1, 2, 3. And there's a likelihood this will happen because this flat here is bigger than the ones in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually come back here. Go for the buy. Wait for any flag, take the buy. You're still in a consolidation. It's not taking off like a rocket. It's just gonna go break that up. So any flag you get will become a buy setup. HK50. Okay, it's going up. This was a good buy. Take that off. There's another buy here. That is the second one. It'd probably be a break even. It seems like we're making another correction here. Back to the top there. So if you get a break, if you this breaks out, you can go for this buy. Put an entry there, go for this trade. If it comes much lower, then we'll take it off. Well, right now it's still upside. Bitcoin. Okay, nothing much happened since then. It came down more, so just a bigger correction. Actually, you're almost at the bottom there. This is still a flat for upside. So now that you've broken this low here, that's a really good thing. Now that we've broken that low, that's a really good thing because that's a sign for upside, right? You've got this, pull back to the top, come here, pull back to the top, come here. We never broke that top. Come here, look for buy setup. This is easy. You don't want to sell here. You'll sell here if you get a really good flat that you think there's one more impulse. But right now, that's a buy setup. Now, how high would that go? Well, that's anybody's guess, right? Because we have these two pull back in here, I would say watch it break the top and then come back. I still think it's come back. I don't think this is going to take off all the way, but it's a buy setup. So if you get it from the bottom here, if you get a trade from here going up, let's say you get a trade from here going up, by the time you break that up, you're pretty good, right? So would that go all the way to the top? I don't think so. I think there's a good chance we'll come back deep. Can this be the one that comes back deep? Well, that is pretty rare. There's the buy setup right now. I think that's possible, but that would be rare. Right, this one came back pretty deep here. You want a flag like this at the top here for the buy, something like this. So now that it came back so deep, it could drop one more. One more drop just beyond this low and then upside again. It could do this and drop here and then go back up. So the sell here, you'll have to be careful of that. Let's go. ETH. Okay, this one is going down. We didn't break that top. I thought this would break the top and then come down. The idea was break the top and then come down, but it didn't break the top. So we're pretty much in this structure, which is upside. At least one more up. And not necessarily the breakout because you have this sharp one here. Right? So even if this comes, it's coming here, probably come back here and then go. Well, look for a buy setup once we break this low. Short-term buy setup. I wouldn't go with long-term buy setup. Because long-term, the trade is downside. XRP. Okay, we broke the low. So now it's a buy setup too. I remember we wanted this to drop here, break this low, make 1, 2, 3, and now you look for your buy setup. Because this was the flat in the middle, right? This 1, 2, 3 here. Now that you got this coming down here, look for this to go back up like this one. So I would say look for buy setup. Any drop to the downside will be short-lived. ADA. This could go down more. This one could go down a lot more. There was an up move here, not as big as we'd expect. I'll say wait for the upside. Look for the upside here. Go on the 15 or so and look for a trade. In 1 hour, if you go into 1 hour, you should find a trade there. I go to the 1 hour and wait for a buy setup here. A flag here or something that will give you a buy. Big picture here is where? Okay, this one might mean downside. This one is actually coming down already. So wait for a flag here and go with this trade. Come back, retest this low, and then you got a big flat there. We did break the top, so I don't think it's a complete pattern. I think it's just coming to retest the low and go back up. Okay, dash drop, we broke the low. Look for the buy setup now. We wanted to break this low and then look for the upside. So the low is broken. Look for the upside. Come back to the 1 hour, look for the upside. Wait for this to become a flag or a flat. You can put an entry order here if you want, but you prefer get a flat here like this and then go. Get something here to go with it. But it's a buy setup. Now that you broke the low, you're definitely not selling it. That also looks like a buy setup at that impulse, but what's the bigger picture? Go with the upside. Also buy setup. Wait for a flag here and then buy it. I think this one we were expecting to come and break this low. That arrow come down, it out. I'm almost there, and now it's upside. So this one might just go a little more. There's a good chance it will break this low first before they go. So it's gonna be like a 1, 2, 3, and then go back up. So a little more down and then up. Let's see. I think we broke this low already, so there's no point going down more. We've got this move, we've got that, and we broke the low. Look for a buy setup here. I don't think we need to do all of these. Let me do the last two because the last two I know some of our traders are trading now. Okay, we didn't get it there. You could likely get it here. We did break this low, but I don't think this one is. Yeah, it could be. Pull this across here. And this could be the upside. So go for the buy setup. Even if it's a shorter trade just for this small impulse here, I'm looking at this one. Just for this impulse. 1 hour. Come on. Yep, just for this impulse here. Wait for a flag here and then take the trade. So it's upside. This would be a buy setup. And this hasn't broken the lows yet. So there's a little more to the downside before it goes, right? We need to break that low and then go back up. So you're expecting this to come here, break the low, and then start look for that next trade up. So this is a short-term sell. I don't think you should focus on the sell. Wait for the buy setups whenever you get it. See, this one is a really nice one because once you start to do that, it can go really fast. And you have a huge consolidation phase here. So with that, once it breaks the low here, you start looking for this trade up. So guys, for my YouTube viewers, if you like what you see, just leave a comment, click a like, share the video, and see you next week. Trade with care.